Hey, what's happening, nation? It's Joku. Look, a win is a win, and we needed this shit to stay alive in that playoff race, so I will take it all damn day, and I am extremely happy that we pulled this game out. Winning on the road against the Cleveland Browns is no small feat, unless you are not playing the actual Cleveland Browns. In all reality, this game was kind of a shit show. The fact that we could only muster up 1 touchdown and 3 field goals is bullshit. We should have crushed this Cleveland Browns team, but instead Nick Mullins took us down to the damn wire, and I do not put this game on the defense at all. They were pitching a shutout at halftime, things were looking damn good for us defensively, and I know Faison ended up getting burned in the first quarter, but at least he had the peace of mind to get back in there and punch that ball out. I honestly thought he had a pretty damn good game today, except for that pass interference, and that was pretty blatant, so I'm not going to argue that call. Dalen Levitt stepped up and had another pretty damn big game. I'm really happy to see the turnaround that kid has made this season. I'm not going to lie, I have a whole new respect for him. Hobbs ended up hitting the COVID list before this game, which completely sucked, but we got to see more Keyshawn Nixon, and that's something I talked about in my video the other night. I was super happy to see that. We got to see more Solomon Thomas. Shit, we even got to see Abram line up at that linebacker spot and completely blow up a running play. I think our defensive line struggled a little bit today as far as just getting that pass rush and getting that presence, but Mullen was getting that ball out of his hands so damn quick. But give credit to that Browns offensive line, because even being depleted, it just showed how fucking deep they were compared to what we have on our team. But moving over to the offensive side of the ball, this is what had me pissed off throughout the majority of this game. I think Carr ended up playing decent. It wasn't great, but at the same time, it wasn't terrible. When he threw that pick late in the fourth, I honestly thought this game was over, but then when he had his second chance at it, I knew we were going to end up locking down this victory. When there's 2 minutes or less in the fourth quarter and you need a quarterback to march you down the field, I will pick Derek Carr to lead my team before the vast majority of QBs in the NFL. I thought he was taking a hell of a lot more shots today, which I was really happy to see, so I'm not even going to fault him for that pick. But there were a few times during this game where he turned into check down Charlie, and one of those was in the fourth quarter when we were marching and I was getting furious. But he got us in the scoring position at the end of this game, marched us down the field, spiked the ball, and gave Carlson a shot to win this damn thing. We also got to see Mariota take a snap without Derek Carr on the field. That was surprising as shit. I wasn't expecting that to happen. He ended up coming in the next play, but Mariota still took the snap. I would like to see him continue to get worked into this offense more and more. Thought Foster Moreau had a pretty big game, 7 catches, 65 yards, but he had a few key fucking drops that almost killed us. Hunter Renfrow was pretty quiet today, and he also muffed 2 punts, but he was able to get them both back. Zay Jones ended up having a pretty damn big game. I'm loving seeing him get more and more involved, even though he's not a true number 1 or 2 wide receiver in the league. Then Bryan Edwards caught that fade to close out the opening drive for a touchdown, and I was happy as shit. I thought, man, this might be the game where that kid actually goes off. And then he was completely fucking quiet for the rest of the game. I saw Deshaun Jackson catch a crossing route. I was happy as hell. I was like, holy shit, maybe he's going to do something besides go deep. Then I saw him run a comeback route, and that shit hit him in both hands and damn near bounced off his face mask and fell to the ground. Nobody within 2 yards of him. Please, for the love of God, if you're one of those guys that keep hitting me up in the comments section and you're like, Zay Jones and Deshaun Jackson are enough, dude, fuck off. They are not. It is blatantly obvious. We need a number 1 and number 2 wide receiver on this team, regardless of who the quarterback is. But the main thing that is pissing me off on this team right now, while everybody is calling for everyone's fucking head, is Josh Jacobs. 2 weeks ago, he calls out his team and then fumbles his opening carry for a touchdown. This week, they talk about how we need to emphasize the offense and build it around Josh Jacobs, and we have to get him more involved so he can work the play action. And then you give him the ball 15 times for 52 fucking yards. Shit, Peyton Barber carried the ball 5 times for 34 yards. He clearly had the hotter hand in the running game, and when the hole was there, he was hitting it a hell of a lot harder than Jacobs was. I know I'm probably going to catch some hell for this, but I am pretty much done with Josh Jacobs at this point. I'll tell you right now, I would not be pissed about that at all. He ended up having a pretty damn good day in the passing game, 3 catches for 42 yards, and I've talked about him moving to that third down back position on more than one occasion, but I really don't think the Raiders are going to pull it off just because they'll have such a high price tag moving into that role. But I still think if you end up drafting like a true workhorse rookie running back, keep Kenyon Drake as his spell, then move Josh Jacobs to that third down goal line running back position, it would be huge for him. It would be very similar to what he did in Alabama, and it would keep his fucking legs fresh throughout the season. Overall, I am extremely happy that we ended up winning this game. Do not get me wrong at all, but I am telling you right now, if this Cleveland team would have been at full power, they would have kicked the living shit out of us. But as it stands right now, we are 7-7, headed back home to play that Denver Broncos team. We pretty much have to win out the rest of this season to be able to make the playoffs. I am confident that we could end up knocking out this Broncos team. I am confident we could end up knocking out that Chargers team at home. The only game that really scares the shit out of me right now is that Colts game, because that team is hot as shit right now. But it's going to take all 3 wins for us to be able to squeak into that wild card spot, and it's going to honestly take a few teams losing now that we ended up shooting ourselves in the foot. because of that Giants game and that Washington game. But like Derek Carr said, I'm honestly just happy that we're playing games that still matter in December. That's pretty much what I have for you guys tonight, man. I'll be back in the next day or two to start breaking down this Denver team or to just do something completely random. There's honestly no telling. Sometimes shit just pops in my head, so I want to bust out a video about it. But until then, I am Joku, and we will catch y'all on the next one.